Welcome back to Monday Message. Thank you so much for being here. I am Dharma Shakti, your host of your weekly dose of inspiration. So I am here back in your inbox or back in front of you on your screen and your YouTube, wherever you are finding me, to offer some insights, some inspiration, and just a little mental food for thought, because so much about change in our life happens around changing the way we think. I've done a video on this one before, but I usually always mention it in my videos, so I'm just going to get it out right now. As Wayne Dyer says, if you want to change your life, you have to change the way that you think. And so these Monday messages are really curated and designed to help you change the way that you think. Not because I'm trying to convince you, but I'm just putting something in front of you, and hopefully you'll chew on it enough that it may help you shift your perspective in a way where you can approach your life differently. So today I don't really have a quote per se, as much as I have an analogy that I shared with a client that I was working with recently. And my client just found it really, really helpful. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to share that with my Monday Message audience. And I hope that you find it helpful today. So I was working with this client. We were talking about a project that this client is trying to put out there. I'm sure that many of you out there have a project or a dream or a vision or a goal that you have, whether it's business related or health related or personal related. We all have things that we are trying to grow into, and things that we're trying to manifest, or things that we're trying to work out in our lives, things that we're trying to create. Different opportunities that we're trying to open up for ourselves. Growth, that's what I'm talking about, is growth essentially. We all want to grow in our business life. We all want to grow in our professional life. We all want to grow in our relationships, whether they are platonic, romantic, or familial. And so when we want to grow, we have to think of that growth like a garden. In order to get a garden, right, which has a lot of beautiful, abundant plants for you to get fruit from, even if you're just growing like one thing, let's say you want to grow tomatoes this summer, or whatever, you want to grow tomato. I'm just thinking it's summer right now, so you missed the moment. But if you wanted to grow tomatoes in your garden, you wouldn't just plant one tomato seed. You would plant a couple of tomato seeds, right? And you're not going to get a garden that is fruitful from just planting one seed. Most likely, you're going to plant a couple of seeds. You might even plant a couple different kind of seeds. Maybe some tomatoes, maybe some bell peppers, maybe some strawberries. Maybe you want to plant some kale. You want to plant some lettuces or spinaches, or you just want to plant a variety of different things, right? And each of those things are going to give you a different kind of nourishment. So let's just say you want to grow some tomatoes, or you want to grow some strawberries in your life. You're not going to just plant one seed. You're going to plant multiple seeds. And from those multiple seeds, a couple will sprout. Some of those seeds will actually sprout for you and grow into a beautiful plant. And some seeds may stay dormant and not grow all season, and then at the end of the season you got this creeper coming out of the soil that you're like, well, you're a little late bloomer, but there you are. And so when it comes to our endeavors in life, when it comes to our goals, when it comes to our dreams, the things that we want to manifest, my point is, we don't get it just in one shot. We're not going to create that new project or launch that new business or even manifest that new creation that we want to get out there into the world, or even achieve that level of health that we want. We don't get it just from one try. We get it from multiple tries. And from those multiple tries, something is going to sprout. And then from that sprouting, we want to nourish that thing. When we see it sprout, when we see it come up through the soil, we see it growing, we see the little buds coming off of it, we want to nourish it and create that nice, safe environment while that plant gets nice and strong. We water it, we make sure that it's not getting too much sun, or that when it is getting enough sun, and give it the right nutrients, and make sure that we're giving it the right amount of care so that those sprouts can actually grow and then flourish. But it doesn't come from just planting one seed. We're going to plant multiple seeds. And while we plant those seeds, we have to wait and be patient for them to sprout. And we don't know which ones are going to sprout, but we know if we plant enough of them, something is going to sprout. So when you're setting, your sights on this vision for yourself, whether it's, I want to create this new career for myself, I want to step into this new profession, so I'm going to apply for these jobs, or I want to, meet new people and hopefully find my partner and my mate. I want to expand my friendship circle, or I want to grow in this type of knowledge, this field of knowledge. Whatever your direction of growth and expansion is in your life, you have to put efforts into sort of multiple tries, is what I'm saying. It doesn't just happen from one try, one growth, one perfect outcome. Your life and your dreams and your visions and your goals for yourself, whether they be personal, professional, hobbies, right? Health, wellness, it doesn't come from just one try. You got to plant multiple seeds. You got to plant those seeds. You got to nourish those seeds and be patient while it doesn't look like anything is happening. You got to be patient. Just keep nourishing them. Don't over-nourish them, just like you don't want to overwater your seeds in your garden that you planted. You got to water them just the right amount, not too little, not too much. And then you got to be patient. And when you see it sprouting, then we got to care for that little sprout and protect it from predators out there who might come and eat at it. And we want to nurture it and give it the right nutrients and the right nourishment and the right amount of attention and care so that it can grow into something strong and beautiful. And when it grows into something strong and beautiful, then it can bear fruit for us. And so there's a process with manifesting the things that we want in our life. And so sometimes we get so tunnel vision on, well, I tried this one thing and it didn't work. I put out the one video on YouTube and it got 2 views. I made the post on Instagram and it got 3 likes. I showed up to teach the yoga class and 1 person came. Right? I put myself out there and let them know I have these new services as some kind of wellness practitioner or holistic health practitioner, and I got 2 clients. Or I got 0 clients. Nobody emailed me back from my newsletter. I submitted those job applications and I got 0 replies. And so you have to think of it as planting seeds. You just keep planting seeds until something sprouts. Don't stop just because you put 1 seed into the soil and nothing happened. Just like when you grow a garden, and folks, my friends, I'm well aware that especially those of you that are younger than me maybe aren't too familiar with growing your own garden. And I don't want to discount my audience. I'm sure that there are plenty of you out there who have grown a garden, and so you get this analogy. It totally rings true for you, where you understand what I mean when I say you can't just plant 1 seed. That's not how a garden happens. You plant a couple of seeds. Even if you're only trying to have a tomato garden, just 1 fruit that you're trying to bear. You can't just plant 1 seed and just like that thing is gonna grow. Because you never know what's gonna sprout and when it's gonna sprout. And so you gotta plant multiple seeds and hope that out of maybe 5 of those seeds, 2 or 3 of them sprout, maybe 1. So we have to plant a lot of seeds in our efforts and in our endeavors to grow and manifest and produce the things that we want to produce in our lives. We can't just stop at 1 or 2 tries, or even 3 tries or 4 tries, right? There are some things that are very easy to grow and manifest and flourish, and some seeds that are a little more difficult, a little more finicky, and require more patience for us to grow. And so plant a lot of seeds and don't give up. Just like a garden, plant a lot of seeds. The thing about a garden is once it's going, man, it is going. But you gotta till the soil, right? You gotta turn that soil to make it nice and fresh. And some of us are in that process in our lives where we are tilling the soil. We are turning that old soil that's just been sitting for a long time. And that's work. I don't know if you've ever had to till the soil and turn it, but I've done that. Had some gardens, different places I've lived, when we're tilling the soil, and you really got to dig and turn and mix that soil up to make it fresh and alive again. So if you feel like there's like this tumultuous digging up and uprooting and turning, just consider your soil being tilled for new seeds to plant. And And then you got to plant those seeds after that soil has been tilled, and then you got to make sure that you water them well. And you can't go out to that garden and look at those seeds and be like, grow, 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 right? What is this saying? A pot of water that's being watched doesn't boil. I know I'm not getting that right, but you know the quote, right? If you watch a pot of water and you're waiting for it to boil, it feels like it's never going to boil. A watched pot doesn't boil. I think that's how it goes. And so we can't necessarily be so fixated on it. We have to till the soil, plant the seed, and then just be patient. And go out there every now and then and water the soil and just make sure that nobody's dug up your seeds. No little squirrels have been out there to dig up your seeds. And just notice the squirrels in your life that dig up your seeds, especially when you're not looking. So protecting our garden is also important, and planting those seeds and then being patient. And then once things are sprouting and growing, we want to care for them, and we want to be very mindful and very aware and very watchful of them, and not overnourish them, but also not neglect them. Right? But think of your projects and your dreams and your goals as a garden that you're trying to grow. And it takes more than one seed for that to happen. You got to plant many seeds. Right? And then you want to create that right environment. So don't give up is why I am sharing this analogy. Is a lot of times we do something and we put ourselves out there, right? We ask a friend if they want to go hang out, and they say they're too busy. We feel rejected, and then we're like, oh, that didn't feel good. I'm never going to ask a friend if they want to go out again because I don't like the way that felt. And maybe we're asking somebody out on a date and they reject us, and that doesn't feel good. I don't want to do that again. I didn't bear any fruit from that. So we have to be willing to plant some seeds and not give up, and keep planting and keep planting. And maybe check in, because sometimes seeds don't grow because the soil isn't enriched enough. Is your soil, is your inner being enriched enough to grow and manifest the things that you're trying to manifest in your life? So that really means, are you taking care of yourself? Do you have the energy and the mental bandwidth, the emotional bandwidth to lean into the things that you're really wanting to invest your time and your energy into? So really, what I'm trying to communicate in a roundabout way, without having a nice fancy quote today, except for life is like a garden and you must plant many seeds, is to not give up on what it is that you're trying to do, to not give up, and to remember that you are worth the effort. You truly are worth the effort. Just like it, with my kids especially, I remember growing a garden and just, it takes so much patience for them to wait for anything to sprout, and then once it sprouts, they're like, where are the strawberries? And it's like, well, we have to wait for the plant to grow big enough, and the plant has grown, and they're like, where are the strawberries? And it's like, we have to wait for the little flowers to turn into strawberries, and then they see the strawberries. I'm like, they're not red yet, don't eat them, just wait. It takes so much patience to be able to harvest. So make sure that your soil is nice and rich. And also, if your life is feeling tumultuous right now, things are kind of being turned upside down, just know that the universe is tilling your soil, turning it. Sometimes I throw manure in that soil to enrich in the soil and give it lots of nutrients. So, if you feel like, everything is just being turned upside down in your life and you're being shitted on by the universe, it's just because your soil is being made ready to plant some beautiful seeds in there. Plant some seeds. Be intentional with what you want to grow. Plant your seeds. Be patient. Give them just the right amount of attention. Don't stress out over them, but also don't neglect them. Give it time to grow. I know that some of those seeds are going to grow. Some of them are not. Sometimes the seeds that don't sprout right away, they randomly sprout later when you least expect it. So don't be super attached. I planted 5 seeds and there's going to be 5 tomato bushes that grow out of this. That may not happen. Just plant enough seeds so that you get something out of it. And don't give up. Give it time, keep going, put in the effort, and trust the process. In the same way that we can trust that when we plant a tomato seed, a tomato plant is going to grow out of it. Even though you look at that tiny little seed and it's hard to imagine that there's a whole tomato plant in there with a whole bunch of tomatoes with more seeds in it, we don't always know the how. We don't know the how. The how is not up to us. Right? What's up to us is tilling the soil, planting the seeds, being patient, paying the right amount of attention, showing up with the effort, and watching things as they grow, watching the manifestation of this is happening, right? But being patient and surrendering, but also not giving up. It reminds me of the yogic texts. I think that it's in many different texts, but many places across yogic texts, you'll see that there are two qualities that a yogi must have: patience and enthusiasm. A yogi is cultivating patience and enthusiasm. We have to simultaneously hold these two things together. We have to be patient and also enthusiastic. So, and somewhere in there is also this Ishwara Pranidhana, surrender to the whole process as well. And trust that your efforts count for something. And have an amazing week this week. Have an amazing week. Have fun in your garden. Have fun growing the garden that is your life, my friends. All right, I hope that you found this helpful, and if you did, you can hit the like button down below here on my YouTube page. You can also leave me a comment and let me know how much you like this or how much you disagree. I'm open to all comments. And if you think that there is a friend out there who needs to hear this message, please do send them this video. And if you just happen to land into my YouTube channel and catch this video, please do know that you can sign up for my email list and get these in your inbox once a week, most weeks. Every Monday, most Mondays, I am sending out a Monday message so you can catch me in your inbox and get those messages. All right, my friends, I hope that this really inspired you to surrender to what is, and also that it inspired you to put some effort into your life, because you are worth the effort, and the life that you desire to live exists on the other side of your efforts. All right, peace out, bless up, have an amazing week. So much love from my heart to yours. Namaste.